This is Inverto by Levanon, an impossible new effect from Penguin Magic, where the ink on a card morphs and reverses itself. Is this an early contender for Trick of the Year? Stick around to find out. Let's do a quick performance of Inverto. What's your name? Josh. Nice to meet you, Josh. I'm going to write a prediction of the card you're going to choose in a moment. And this can be done walking up to a random stranger. Yeah, I think you're going to pick that card. Perfect. We're going to place that card on the table off to the side. Now, Josh, as I go through the cards, I just want you to call out stop whenever you want. There? Stop? Okay, perfect. Check that card out and show the audience. The Two of Hearts, that's a good choice. You could have went for any of these cards, obviously, but you went for the Two of Hearts. And do you know what the crazy thing is, Josh? That on the table, I had a prediction, and it says the Two of Hearts, which is really good because you could have went for any of these, yet you chose the Two of Hearts. But you know, that as cool as that is, let's try to do something impossible. I'm going to write your name, Josh, on this playing card, on the right there. Josh. Josh. And you can check that out. Make sure the ink really is on there. It's not going to transfer. It's really on there. And once he's checked that out, I'd take that card back. And we're going to try something interesting using my camera app right here. Now we're going to try this. Now on the camera app, there's a lot of different filters, a lot of different options. And there's one where you can actually invert yourself. This is a commonly used one because it lets your audience see actually how people really see you in real life. So that says Josh. But they say never leave the filter on for too long, because if you leave the filter on for too long, it actually becomes a reality. You can check on the camera. That really is, the ink is inverted. The filter has become a reality. So I guess now you know, never leave your filters on for too long. I really hope you enjoyed that quick performance of Inverto. First off, I'd like to let all magic distributors and creators know if you want me to review your product, contact me at bffanmail@gmail.com. Also, I do free Magic Monthly giveaways, and you just have to subscribe in order to be eligible. Now, let's talk about Inverto, because this is a really cool release. What do you get when you buy it? When you buy Inverto, you will receive this nice box. And inside this box, you get another box. A red Riderback tuck case. And inside that tuck case, you get your gimmicked cards. The gimmicks come ready to go out of the box. All you need to provide is your own red deck of cards, bicycle deck. You get 28 duplicate cards and 28 gaffed, specially printed cards. You will be able to use one of these cards, one of each of these cards. So you use 2 cards per performance that you do. However, refills are readily available on Penguin Magic's site. In the guarantee at the bottom, because they include a joker that helps kind of with a crib. It's kind of a crib. That's a specially printed card in addition to the 56 cards. And it looks like an ordinary joker with a guarantee at the bottom, but the guarantee will assist you in the special type of writing you'll have to do. You don't receive an ungimmicked pack of red bicycle cards, a Sharpie, or a phone. You'll need to provide all of those in order to perform Inverto. And in addition to all those physical items that you receive in this box, you get an app, a camera app, that looks like an ordinary camera app, but it actually has the Inverto secret built into it. And it's readily available on Apple and Android phones. But what is the quality of the gimmick? The gimmicked cards are printed with a red bicycle rider back design and have a standard finish. They don't have any moving parts, and the ink's not special or anything. These are just specially printed. The cards are meant to go with any ordinary red bicycle deck. These gimmicks will deplete after each performance. You do use up 2 of them per performance. One thing to note is that if you're doing table hopping and everyone knows each other and you're leaving the spectator with an impossible object that they'll want to show others, but that's not good because if everyone's showing the same card to each other, they'll notice that everyone picked the same card. Therefore, I wouldn't recommend doing this at a gig where everyone knows each other. It works better at a restaurant gig or something like that, which we'll touch on later. The app is good quality as well. It records sound and video, so you can capture your audience's reactions while doing this effect and post to social media. The app is very simple. Something I noticed with the app is it doesn't look exactly like an ordinary camera app, which it's supposed to. I doubt people would notice, but if you want to get around this, Penguin put this filter or app on Instagram as well. So you can access the Inverto filter through Instagram, the actual app. So you don't need the Inverto app itself. If you want to, if you do think that the Inverto app looks a bit suspicious, and that works for Android or iOS. However, if you're using the Instagram alternative, I think you need Wi-Fi. For the Inverto app, that doesn't run on Wi-Fi. You don't need Wi-Fi for that. Now, how is the tutorial? The tutorial's over an hour and a half long. Nick Lacapo is in the P3 Magic Studio. He's mic'd up and the video is clear. He goes through an introduction, what you receive, an overview of the method, the camera, the basic handling where you know your spectator's name beforehand, an advanced handling that can be done without previous knowledge or pre-show, and some tips and ideas. He also gives 2 bonus handlings and the history and crediting. The advanced handling is definitely what I will be performing. Throughout the tutorial, Liam Levanon also pops in and goes through the handling, some ideas, and the crediting. So it's kind of going back and forth between Nick and Liam. Overall, the tutorial is pretty good and thorough. Nick and Liam leave no stone unturned and add some subtleties that make this more convincing and are worth knowing. Lighting restrictions. There should not be any lighting restrictions for this effect. Now, is this for social media or real life? The effect itself is built to be performed in real life rather than social media. However, as the Inverto app records audio and video as well, you can post the reactions you get from this effect to social media, which is a great addition to this. What are the angles like for Inverto? Inverto is not angle proof, unfortunately. You want everyone to be behind one person holding a card. So it's best done on a small group. If you're surrounded, people will see what's up with the spectator's name on the card from the get-go. The angles are essentially 180 degrees. You want the audience in front of you. If they can see the face of the card the spectator is holding while you're in the camera app, if that makes sense, and showing the filters, they won't be impressed by the effect. That's a dead giveaway of the method. You will need to practice a bit of audience management to make sure the spectator doesn't just turn around their card prematurely. If you want, you can flash the face of the card for just a second, but I wouldn't show it for too long. But if you show it for just a second, people wouldn't likely bat an eye. Are there live performances in the tutorial? Oh, yes. And before I talk about the live performances, yes, you can quickly flash the card even before the big reveal, and they won't notice that it's inverted because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what's happening. So if you just flash the card for just a second, they won't notice that it is inverted before you do the reveal. Are there live performances? Yes, there are live performances in the tutorial. Is this examinable? Yes, the card is examinable. When you first write the name their name on the card. It's examinable, and at the end as well, they can keep the inverted card and examine it as much as they want, but they won't find anything. And once the Inverto app is opened in the middle of the routine, they can't examine it at all. They can't turn the card around while the app is opened. However, beginning and end, they can check out the card. Now let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of this effect. How hard is Inverto to do? Inverto is really easy. I learned it on my flight to Columbus for MagiFest, and I was showing people next to me within minutes. If you can force a card, do a double lift, and one other thing, you can do Inverto. The one other thing may take a little bit of practice, but included inside the box is a crib that will assist you in writing the name of the person to do this effect properly. I didn't need the crib when I was learning this, but it's there for you if you do need it. This is a practical effect for a close-up show or restaurant magic, maybe even parlor. But I recommend that you do this for a small audience. That's where it plays best, because that ensures that you have a more intimate effect and everyone can be a part of the video and selfie, and they can see the filter more up close. Because if everyone's way over there, they're not going to be really seeing the camera. So I think this works best on a small group or a table. But if you really wanted to, you could do this on a larger crowd. But you'll want to make sure you have some good audience management. Because as I mentioned, you won't want people beside or really in front of the camera so they can see the card while the app is on. Is there any DIY? With Inverto, there is no DIY whatsoever. You don't have to build anything, but the special cards do all the work for you. They come ready to go out of the box, and refills are readily available. Pocket space. You have to carry around your own red bicycle back deck, a Sharpie, and depending on how many times you plan on performing this, 2 of their Inverto cards for every performance. The Inverto cards should not take up much pocket space at all, because most magicians already have a Sharpie and a deck of cards and a phone as a part of their EDC. But you couldn't really borrow someone else's phone. That wouldn't really work well. You'd have to do it with your own phone. Or you could maybe, if they have the Instagram app, you could look for the Inverto filter, but I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend using your own phone. Now, reset. What's the reset like? With this effect, there is a quick reset. It can be done in front of the audience. All you need to do to reset is add the 2 Inverto gimmicks to the deck in preparation for your next performance. It can be done casually or in front of your audience if you want. Now, let's see if the ad copy is honest. It states, invert space and freeze time in this reality warping effect that leaves your spectator holding a permanently warped souvenir. Invert the face of a playing card and the written name of a spectator without mirrors or moving parts. Flip the script when you perform Inverto by Levanon. Here's what happens. An audience member's name is written on a playing card and they hold it up so they can take a photo for the moment of posterity. To add a little fun to the photo, the magician shows off some filters from a popular photo app. The most useful one is the inverted filter, so that when you take a selfie, everything shows up correctly. Then, when the magician forgets to turn off the inversion filter, the camera app affects reality. The ink on the playing card has inverted. Not only are the indices of the card now printed backwards, the spectator's name is also written backward on the card and can be given away as an impossible souvenir. Yes, so far that is pretty honest, because it's explaining just what the effect is and what's happening. But yes, it does leave them with an impossible souvenir, and you can kind of play around with a lot of different filters. If you're on the Instagram app, you can show the crying filter, the mustache filter, all that stuff. That's what Nick Lacapo from Penguin Magic likes to do. It's also great for audience interaction because you're interacting with them, showing them some fun filters. It adds a moment of fun to it. Now back to the ad copy. Inverto comes with specially printed cards that make this incredible effect possible, and a custom phone application. So you never have to worry if your favorite social media service removes or makes this inverted filter hard to find. The effect is easy to do and blends modern technology into classic methods for a truly memorable effect. The app doesn't need to be on your phone because the real magic is in the cards. That means you can borrow someone else's phone if they have Instagram or Snapchat and perform this miracle with a borrowed device. If you're looking for an offbeat card trick that turns reality inside out, then you need to flip out your audiences with Inverto by Levanon. That's honest. It just describes the effect and what you get. You can, as it mentions, borrow a phone, but I don't think it's that necessary because it's just a camera app. They're not going to think it's a trick app or something like that, in my opinion. You can use Instagram or Snapchat on someone else's phone and then do this effect just fine. But I personally wouldn't do that. I'd use my own phone. What is the price of this? Normally, the trick Inverto costs $35 US. However, for now, both refills and the effect are 43% off. So you can buy Inverto for $20 US. And refills that allow for 84 more performances are $50 US. That is well worth the price. The trick itself includes the apps, the tutorial, the cards, and a crib. That is worth the price of admission. It's worth the original price. $35, it might be a bit expensive, but $20 is a bargain. I think it could have gone up to even $25. The refills are also pretty inexpensive. You're paying less than 60 cents per performance. I think 60 cents. And you leave your audience with really an impossible object that freezes the magical moment in time forever. What are the pros and cons with this? The pros are this is a creative new plot. It records reactions so you can use them for social media and other stuff. It works on iOS and Android. It's easy to do. The price is great. The refills are available. It's a personal effect to your audience as it uses their name. The tutorial is great. It's a great effect. The cons are this has some angle issues and it uses technology, which people may or may not be suspicious of. Also, it needs refills. But that is all for the pros and cons. But this is a powerful effect. Now, let's talk about the percentage that Inverto by Levanon gets. Inverto by Levanon is really good. I enjoy performing it a lot, so it gets a 90%. It is great for that occasional performance or a casual performance because it starts off as an offbeat effect, something that they think they've seen before, but then you literally warp their world and give them an impossible souvenir. So I will be performing this. I already have performed this quite a lot in restaurant magic and some close-up gigs as well. It is great for the one-off performance. You could do it one time in the night, or you could do it at each table, especially if the people at the event don't know each other. But that's all for my review of Inverto. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.